the 5x5 program, or is what we're calling in this video the beginner's weekly gym routine, which we both agree is an excellent beginner's routine, as well as advanced as well.
Yeah, although I was about to say, you know, it's not just for beginners, for sure, to just kind of get that out of the way. It's excellent for beginners, but it definitely can be introduced for advanced lifters as well.
Yeah, we don't want to sell it too short, for sure. This is one of the greatest workout programs of all time. Love coming back to it. Just getting started with 2018, and we're going to jump into the 5x5 because for us personally, it's just a great refresher. It's like a restart button, you know? You like look at each other every once in a while and you go, man, you want to do the 5x5? It's like, hell yeah. All compound, sprinkle a little bit of isolation on the top.
Yeah, it's a perfect little Sunday right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, we're already right into it. Wow, we got finished with the squats, and now we are doing the bent over rows, 2 major compound exercises.
So, we're getting into this program. A lot of times you'll want to obviously track your weights throughout the process of like a 5x5 program like this. The point of it is really trying to incrementally increase your weights throughout each week or week by week. So on the 5th rep, you're really trying to hit that fatigue point and really failure. So you really can't get that 5th rep. So that way you're constantly pushing past or through that barrier. And then each week you're trying to raise it up by as small as a pound or 2, you know. So, I mean, patience is key here, definitely, and you always want to log your weights and make sure. We didn't necessarily use it specifically for that. It was almost kind of like Hudson was saying, kind of like a restart button. We really wanted to get into it, so we really didn't go quite that heavy, but it's definitely always just good to kind of, if you haven't worked out in a while, to just kind of start with something like this.
For sure. And we probably would have liked, in like a perfect scenario, to really struggle on that 5th rep, but for us in this particular case, we're kind of our own cameramen, so we didn't have necessarily a spotter in some scenarios. So you'll notice on, like, let's say flat bench, for instance, you know, we got the 5th rep up pretty easily. Would have liked to maybe go in a little heavier, but hey, that's why you feel it out. Like Brandon was saying, in that first week, you think, 275 was, I got 5 reps easily enough. You just track it in your logbook. So the next week, come on in, try, let's say 315 for 5 reps. And then, of course, you want to have that spotter there, too, to help you out.
Yeah, for sure. That always definitely helps. And you can see here's the isolation exercise that Hudson was saying earlier. This is not a requirement, but it's something we like to do. So we get all the major compound movements out of the way: squats, bent over rows, bench press, overhead press. And then we move on to some of the smaller muscle groups that maybe can lag behind sometimes, either be triceps, biceps, the lateral portion of the deltoid. And then you just kind of tag on these isolation, do like 3 sets, 12 reps, not really heavy, but just enough to give them some little extra love. And calves.
I know, that's what I was about to say. And of course we're including calves. You're going to notice on all 3 days of this routine, we're including calves because they're an often forgotten body part, so we want to show them some love. And we'll get a lot of comments just saying, hey, we notice you guys have isolation. Why do you need those? All you need is compound. You know, that's totally up to you, up to preference. I mean, you could include anything or nothing. You could just do squats and then make an argument that all you need to do squats, which you could have a legitimate argument. But then you could have someone else come up and go, well, no, I want to be a little bit more aesthetic. I want to work on my shoulders. I want to work on my lats, my biceps, and that's where some isolations can come in. You'll notice we're on day 2 now. We're doing deadlifts, which is a major compound exercise, one of our favorites, and another one that a lot of people will make an argument that really it's one of the only ones you need. For us, ourselves, we do agree it's an excellent exercise, but we like the isolations as well.
I don't know if I could work out, even if it's just 3 days a week, just doing one exercise, honestly.
Yeah.
Mentally, I just could not be stimulated enough. Hey, you could have a great physique doing that kind of stuff, which a lot of power lifters and strength guys do. Absolutely. But I have to have fun, too, when I go to the gym. And this is me personally. I mean, maybe some people just have fun doing deadlifts or squats all day, and that's cool. It's all geared towards how you feel personally or what your personal goals are. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
For sure. And you'll notice now we're moving on to weighted pull-ups. There's a lot of people have problems with pull-ups. It's an excellent upper body exercise, one of our favorites for sure. Even body weight. We're adding a little bit of weight since we're just doing the 5x5. Typically, we try to do a little bit more if it's body weight, you know, like 12 reps. But if you're having problems, feel free to substitute it with an exercise such as lat pull downs or inverted rows to work yourself up to doing pull-ups, because it's an exercise we feel everyone should have in their toolbox.
Definitely. And got the incline. You can't forget the clavicular portion of the chest, the upper portion there. It's a tougher, you know, kind of like area to develop for some people. Definitely for us, I feel like in the genetic pool, we kind of missed out on the upper chest abilities to build it at least. So we always try to.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a sore spot. You know, we get a lot of it. Where's your upper chest? It's like, dude, we're trying. Yeah. Believe us, we're working out. I mean, genetics. You know, you try your best. Yeah. So everyone's
got the arms thing.
Yeah, thank God. Hey, they know that's not bad. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, everyone has their weak spot that they need to work on, and we identify that that's one of ours, and we're always trying to build it and make it stronger.
Yeah.
And here we go. Speaking of arms, we got one of the absolute classic gym exercises right here.
Barbell curl.
Yeah. And you're noticing we're keeping our elbows pretty much locked to the sides of our body, trying not to have too much swing in it. You know, you'll see a lot of guys, they'll use a lot of, you know, swing, a lot of that shoulder activation in order to get up to top position. That could signify that you're using a little bit too much weight. I know it's tempting to do because it just kind of looks good, feels good, but try to stick with the weight which feels comfortable for you so you can get that proper rep range.
Yeah, some people introduce like cheat curls and stuff, and I've never really been a fan of cheat curls, although I've introduced them from time to time, mainly when I was kind of a bit younger, and yeah, I'm gonna pull my lower back at this point. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's the danger kind of outweighs the benefits. Mm-hmm. But that's not for everyone. Hey, you can do cheat curls, do them, just as long as you're safe about them.
All right, just finished up. I'm getting ready to finish up working a little bit of the posterior delts. There's 3 heads to the deltoid, or the shoulders, so you got to make sure that you're working all of them for those 3D delts. Easy way of remembering it, too. 3 heads, 3D. There we go. Getting a little worn out there. And we're finishing off day 2 with some more calf raises.
Calves. All about calves.
Don't forget those things. They're so neglected because really you don't see them most of the time.
Yeah, true.
And a lot of guys, you'll notice even us today, wear pants. So you can think, hey, well, why do I got to work legs or calves? I mean, I'll just wear pants all the time. But we're big fans of aesthetics. Again, it's totally personal preference, whatever you prefer. But seeing as we are a fan of an aesthetic physique, we try to remember all muscle groups.
Yeah. I like looking in the mirror and liking what I see, saying, hey, damn right. I look good. And then make sweet love to myself.
I know, I was like, where's this going?
It's going there.
Yeah.
No, not really. Okay, so we go in the front squats here. And this one it can be very difficult for a lot of people. And a lot of times you'll see we have the clean position on the grip. And this is hard because getting into that position, having tighter forearms or not very much mobility in your wrist, it can kind of hold you back from that. So you gotta just get some mobility and some wrist mobility and some stretching in your forearms, so that way it loosens up a little bit. You don't necessarily have to do that clean position. You can do that cross kind of position there to help make it a little bit easier. But realistically, it's always just keeping that torso vertical and your elbows a bit higher and try to really lead with the elbows. And that way you're not kind of dipping that chest and then the weight is going to want to kind of roll off that shoulders. But it's always kind of a little uncomfortable at first.
It definitely can be. It was one that I struggled with big time. I just feel even now in my lifting career, I finally felt comfortable with it. Now we're moving on to weighted chest dips. So we just got the dumbbells just tucked right between our legs there.
Let's just take a moment to
no.
comment on the gloves.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Brandon just went there. I was hoping no one was going to note. Oh, my God.
He called himself out. I saw, hey, I got to call him out.
Wow. Even the other version of me noticed what Brandon was saying and felt uncomfortable. Yeah, my wife called me out on that one because I was busting up my wedding ring, but I think I'm probably going to go with the necklace because I got to say I'm just not the biggest fan of the lifting gloves. Sorry, honey, but
gloves aren't a good look.
No.
I don't know.
It's, yeah. No offense to those of you who wear them. It's just for me personally, just not the biggest fan. So
gloves used to be a big thing back in the day. I remember everyone wore gloves, and it was like that wrist wrap ones. And I remember buying them when I was younger, because I'm like, I wanted to fit in, because I was like, oh, I'm going to the gym now, I get some gloves. And I tried them on once. I'm like, I don't.
The only thing that I think of when I think of those gloves is the smell of sweat.
Yeah,
because they're those leather, and then it gets soaked in, and
Our dad wore gloves all the time.
That's what basically what ruined them for me. All I do is I think of sweat and protein.
Yeah.
I'm just like that old school 80s protein and sweat.
Yeah, that stuff was, man, what was that? I don't even know what the hell that was.
I don't even know. I think that's
protein.
Before regulations were kicked in, and it was just like whatever they could scrape up off the bottom of the floor or something.
So.
So we're moving on to the isolations.
Yeah. This is single arm French press.
Indeed.
Yeah, or tricep extensions.
Hitting a little bit of those triceps.
Yeah.
And now we're hitting some of the front delts. Anterior.
Yeah.
One of the three in the 3D.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Part of the most embarrassing exercise.
It really is too. If you rewind that footage and watch it again, you're like, oh damn. You gotta choose carefully of who you're working out. You know what I mean? You gotta kind of like aim yourself appropriately. So we're finishing this one off with the calf raises, day 3. That was it. The beginner's workout routine, but don't think that it's just for beginners. It can be for intermediate or even advanced. It's a great program to jump into anytime.
If you want to try to increase your strength, a little bit in your size as well, I would definitely recommend trying this program out. For sure.
Definitely. It's one of our absolute favorites. We try to make it something we do annually, including this year, 2018. So hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have a lot more workouts coming. Every single phase of our cutting plan, which we're doing now, and we're keeping this series very just cut and dry. So for those of you who maybe want to watch it in the gym, feel free to take it along with you. We hope you learn a thing or two and leave some comments, maybe on other discussions you want us to talk about in future videos.
I don't know if you can see, but it's like a sauna in here. So
it really is, which you can't, because in prior videos I've said the same thing, and you watch the footage and you're like, whatever.
Like there's like sweat dripping out. I'm like, do people think I'm just like?
Well, you want to know something? It's like the Titanic car.
Oh,
you know that scene?
It's like a hand's gonna come up.
Well, somebody just parked right beside us. What you couldn't? They parked, and I saw the dude looking out of my peripheral, and then he just backed up and drove off.
He got the hell out. He's like,
he just
tires
saw
screeching.
This whole car is full of just fog. You can't see anything. You just see two dudes in fog. So
it didn't help that Hudson put his hand up and like.
I did, and I blasted Celine Dion as loud as I could. And I just looked him in the eye as I slowly jerked my hand down, and then the guy was just like, got out of there. Yeah. What can I say? I need a friend. I needed a friend.
Well, you didn't find one in that guy. He was scared.
No.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
Maybe.
Until next time.
Stay.